Hey everyone, it's the end of week two, or approaching the end of week two, and I just wanted to give you a quick update on where things are so far. I finished grading all your discussion one assignments, so thank you for submitting that. Saw some great discussion overall. There was some great interaction between you, myself, in the class, and a lot of good questions were raised in terms of the content as well. The thing I wanted to remind you of is remember to read the discussion question in whole, because there were a few of you that forgot to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the learning-centered approach. And so be sure to read that moving forward with future discussions. I also saw some great things in terms of you all continuing the conversation. I know I've said that in grading, how I want you to continue the conversation. Essentially what this means is probe, ask questions of each other, say, hey, you said this about this, I thought about this, this is what the literature says, and in my experience it's been like this. So continue to do that and we'll have great interactions in the discussion thread. The other thing too is I saw some students try to start posting video-wise. And if you want to try to do that, that's great. I think video is a great opportunity to talk in this format, or even just do a voiceover PowerPoint. It gets you out of the routine of writing and trying to cite and things like that. So it is a discussion, and if you want to do a PowerPoint and do a voiceover, let's try that. So we're going to the end of week two here, and one of the things that I want you to do is to focus on instructional design in higher education. So this came about, I was just at a conference yesterday, got back, and ironically we were talking about instructional design and e-learning or electronic learning. And there was a session that I went to that had a faculty member teamed up with an instructional designer. And some of you mentioned this need for collaboration. And so here I was at the session, and there was this great collaboration between what an instructional designer sees in terms of assessments, in terms of outcomes, that type of thing, and then the faculty person who was the content expert, and their sort of interaction and dialogue. So we'll be walking through some of those things, this collaboration, this interaction, this dialogue between the content and the assessment piece throughout. So other than that, remember, think of all this from the perspective of what it means to be a leader. So if you were a leader at a higher ed institution and you were supposed to institute this sort of alignment amongst the curriculum and the program, what would you do? What sort of measures would you take to ensure that there's both alignment of outcomes from the program to the institution, and what are the leadership capacities needed to do such that, to do that? So in any case, have a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing you online. Bye.